Welcome to this beginner-friendly tutorial on data entry and formatting in Microsoft Excel. Whether you are tracking business transactions, organizing your personal data, or preparing for an office role, this tutorial will help you get started. In just a few minutes, you will learn the essential data entry techniques, formatting tips, shortcuts, and data validation for accuracy. Let's dive in. In our last video, we talked about how to navigate your Excel interface. But in this video, we'll be going a little bit deeper. So what is Microsoft Excel? It is a powerful spreadsheet program that is used for organizing, calculating, and formatting data. It supports various data types. It supports text, numbers, decimal, and percentage. The default file extension for Excel is .xlsx or .xls. Now, each box here is called a cell. Each box here is called a cell. And then the box with the green border is called the active cell. We will be creating this table together. It contains the customer name, the product, transaction date, and the amount. So let us do that now. I click on this plus button to create another sheet. Now, for us to enter data, we click on any cell and we start typing. So the next thing we'll do now is type the customer name, now you'll notice that the text appear both in the cell and also in the formula bar. For us to move to the next cell, we click on the tab button and then write products. We click on the tab button again and we press transaction dates. We click on the tab button and then we press and then we type amount. Now, after we're done, we press the enter button and then it takes us to cell A2 and then we'll continue writing. So the first customer is June. I press the tab button. The product he bought was laptop. I press the tab button. The date was on the 28-02-24. I click on the tab button and then the amount, 450,000. Now I'm done writing. To go to cell A3, I click on the tab button again. Tab. Tab. Now I press enter. Okay. Click on the tab button. Then I press enter. Now you will notice that some of the words look cut off. For instance, this cell A1, we wrote customer name, but what we're seeing there is customer. So what we have to do is to resize the column. And for us to do that, we hover our mouse at the boundary of column A until we get this cross sign, and then we'll double click. Now we can do this individually, but to save time, you just highlight the whole column and double click at any boundary. Just make sure you're maintaining this cross sign, or you have this cross sign, and then you double click. Now you see that all the columns take the appropriate width. This ensures that all your contents are visible. Now we'll be learning some shortcuts to save time. The first is the copy. Now for us to copy, first you highlight content you want to copy, and then you press Ctrl+C to copy. Now for us to paste, I just come where I want to paste it is at cell AC. So I just paste it there by pressing Ctrl+V. So Ctrl+V, I click on the cell and then I press Ctrl+V. Ctrl+V is to paste. Now I'm done pasting. To remove this dash, this box, and then it's hovering around our data, just press the escape key. Alright, so to navigate your data, to go to the end, you just press your control down arrow key to go to the end of your data set. Now to go to the top, you press control up arrow key to go to the top. Now this is very useful if you have a large data set and you want to know where the data ended, where the data set ended or the data point ended. You just use the control down arrow key to navigate it, to know where the data set ended. Now if I want to go to the end of my data set from at the right hand side, what I'll do is hold the control and then the right arrow key. To go up, control plus up arrow key. To go to customer name back, I press the control and the right arrow key, the left arrow key rather. Now I want to introduce something in Excel that is called autofill. Now if I want to generate numbers, so I start with 1, 2, 3, and I want to generate more numbers. Okay, let's do that here. So I want to generate number 1, 2. So if I write 1 here, I come here and write 2. Now it tells Excel, okay, so what I want to write is, I want to write numbers in series. So what it does is, if I highlight this, drag this edge, when you get this plus sign, just drag the end, just drag it. You see, it fills it with numbers in series 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 7. So if I Control Z, now Control Z is to undo what we just did. So Control Z, you undo what we just did. And I come to this plus button. Now, instead of dragging it, in the case where we have large data sets, if you drag it, it might be very exhausting. So we can just double click on this plus sign, and then it automatically fills it to the end of the data set. Now, the next thing we'll be doing is data formatting. So formatting makes your data more readable. For us to do that, you select your data. Now, we want format column A. I'll select it. I'll go to the Home tab, and then this contains the customer name. So I click on the drop down and change it to text. Then now, this next column, which is the product column, contains our product. It's also a text, so I'll format it to text. Now I'll go to the next column, which contains transaction dates. Our format it is in general, so by default, the data type is in general, but you can format it, which is what we are doing now. I want to format this transaction date to date. Next thing I want to do is to format the amount so that it is more readable. So I click on this drop down. You can choose to use this button here to format it to currency, but let's use this drop down here so you see it better. And then you click on currency. Now they have different data type in Excel. We have the general. So this general, like it says, no specific format. It's just a plain format. Then we have the number, currency, accounting, short date, long date, time, percentage, fraction, and there are lots more. But let's just stop here for now. So I'll click on currency, and then you will notice that it's changed it or it formatted it to a dollar sign, and it gave it 2 decimal places. So for us to remove the decimal place first, click on this arrow key, reduce decimal. So we click on it once, it reduces it by 1. When you click on it again, then it reduces it 2 times. Now we have reduced the decimal. What if you want to change the currency? You're not working in dollars, you are working in another currency. For us to do that, you come to this diagonal arrow here. I click on it. It takes me to this interface. Now, when you come here, you see amount, you see decimal places. So it's telling us that our currency is currently in 0 decimal places, exactly what we want. Now we'll come down here, you see symbol. Symbol says it's in dollar sign. You can come here and change it to whatever currency of your choice. So we have several currencies here, different country currency. So you can choose your currency, the country currency, and say okay. Now I'll come to this next column and format it to number column. And I'll remove decimal by clicking on this arrow here, reduce decimal, reduce decimal. Now you will notice that the date column was arranged in this format, which is DD, MM, YY, which is day, months, and year. Now, why it's formatted to this particular way is because that is the way my system date is actually formatted. So 1st March 2025. So that is why it's formatted this way. Now, the other method in which your date can be formatted is in MM, DD, YY. So which is month, day, year. So this is very important. When you are writing in your date, be mindful of what you're writing. So we can go further to formatting our date, giving it colors and all. So let's do that. On to row 1, so the header, I highlight it. I go to the home tab, and then I change the color. Let me change it to blue. And then let me give it a fill color. So what it does, it fills the box with the color of my choice. So we formatted the header to give it some popping. Let's change it to white instead of blue. Now we're going to be learning data validation for accuracy. So what is it? It helps us to prevent incorrect entries. For example, we can restrict the columns to accept only positive number. We can restrict this amount column to contain only positive numbers. Or we can also restrict this product column to only give us predefined text value. Only the products that we sell, just predefined text value. Now, let us try it out. Let's do it. Now, for us to do that, to validate this number column, what we'll do is to select the column. We go to the data tab, and then we go to the data validation command, which is under the data tool. Now we are going to choose allow. So here is data validation interface. Now we're going to choose allow only whole numbers. And then we're going to set it to be between zero, like the minimum should be 0 and the maximum, we are going to leave the maximum open. You can also choose to say we want the amount column to be greater than equal to a certain amount. If you know the least product you sell, let's say the amount is 30,000, you can now restrict it to say, you can come and say greater than equal to 30,000. What this does is, then we say okay. So what this does is, if you write any number below 30,000, it will throw an error. Let's try it out. So let's write 25,000. Now you see, it's telling us this value does not match the data validation restriction defined for this cell. So no matter what we do, it will not enter until we change it to a correct amount. So let's put 35,000. So you see, it accepted it. The next field we'll be validating is the product field. This is to ensure consistent product name. Now, for us to do that, we can write out all the products that we sell. Now, it's best to do it in another sheet, but let's just, for the benefit of this class, let's just do it here. Now, I write out all the products that we sell. We sell laptop, phones, headphones, and tablets. So these are the products that I sell. What I'll do now is to highlight it. I come to the formula tab. Under the defined name, I click on define name. Now I give this list a name. So let's say my products. And then I say okay. Now for us to know that we've created a defined name for this product, or what we call it a list for this product, let us type equal to my products. So I click on my tab key to accept it and say enter. You see, it brought out all the products that I sell. So let's clean this. For us to clean this, we just highlight and then click on delete button to clean that. Now, let us now validate this column. First of that, I highlight this column. I go to the data tab, then go to validation under the data tool. Now, what should we allow into this column, this product column? So I click on this drop down and say lists. So the list of the products that I sell. So what is the name of the list? Which is, I'll write equal to my product. So the same name, the same way I wrote it should be what I put here. So I will now say okay. Now you will notice instantly that we have something, this arrow pointing down, so it's a list. So if I click on it, it brings out all the product that I sell. In this way, I can restrict what is written in this particular column. So let's do that. I click on this drop down and say headphone. I come here again, click on this drop down, I say tablet. I can choose to write instead of using the drop down. What it does is, even when I choose to write it, it gives me I want to write. So I just press tab and accept it. So let us write something randomly that is not in our list and see what happens. So I will write airport, and then airport, and then I say enter. So you see, it shows this error. It says this value does not match the data validation restriction defined for this cell. But we can go further to give it a more defined error, so we'll know what exactly error means. Now for us to do that, I highlight this column again. I go to the data tab. I go to the data validation. I move to the error alert. Now the error alert, I can give it a name, what I want it to say. Let's say I want to say enter a correct product name. So I'll say okay. So let us try that again. So if I write airport, so now you see it's giving us a more defined error. So this ensures that the user enter only valid values, and then it tells you where exactly or what exactly you should do based on this error that is being shown. It says enter a correct product name. So we are done. Let's clean this. Let's clean this. Now, after we are done entering our data, next thing we are going to do is to save our work. So don't forget to save your work. For us to do that, you click on the Ctrl S button. So why is it shortcut? This is Ctrl S. When you click on this Ctrl S, it brings us here. It says save as, and then you choose where you want it to be saved. So I'll come to that location, which is this device, and then I go to my documents, and then it brings me to this interface, and then I change the name to data entry and formatting, and I click on save. Now it has saved this document. Congratulations, you've learned the fundamentals of data entry and formatting in Excel. Keep practicing. Soon, you'll be managing data like a pro. If you found this tutorial helpful, give me a thumbs up, like, comment, and share. Now, and also subscribe and drop a comment if you have a question. See you in the next one. Thank you.